Alrighty, hello people of the internet, it is I, Solar Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order, where we are going to continue Lostbelt 7 Golden Sea of Trees, Nahui Mictlan, where today we are going to be doing Section 16, Epilogue. We haven't even made it to the 9th stratum yet. This is a false epilogue. False epilogue, so don't think this is the last part. You can tune in tomorrow, and you'll be notified to tune in tomorrow if you subscribe. Ignore J6 there. I am not about to be terrified of spiders. I like spiders. I carry them out of the house if they are, like, in any kind of way intrusive. Otherwise, I leave them be to do their thing. But anyways, let's begin Section 16, a 4-arrow node. No lies. No lies. I even let a little jumping spider sort of crawl over my desk and hop down to its home. It was cute. Everyone's at a loss for words. I don't know why. Listen, what happened to the city is heartbreaking, but we're still in the middle of a crucial operation. This is a reaction to the slaughter of Chichen Itza. Cold as it sounds, the fact is we just don't have time to mourn the dead right now. Isn't that right, Commander Gordolf? Would you mind going over our current situation and outlining our next steps? Right, good point. We can grieve our losses once the operation is over. The Aklama's attack has left Chichen Itza in shambles. The King of Dinosaurs is dead. The solar enclosure, which controls the position of the sun, has been taken to Mexico City. 60-ish dinos survived. The Aklama were almost completely wiped out before the last survivors were treated. In regards to the Aklama, we now know they are neither humans from this Lostbelt nor soldiers from proper human history, says Catlapoca trained. They are apes native to Mictlan, a species of primate extremely similar to humans. So the war between the Aklama and the dinos was not a proxy war between proper human history and this Lostbelt. Rather, it was a competition between two species trying to survive within the confines of Mictlan. Vicious though the Aklama may be, they are not directly opposed to human history. While I suppose his Kali is an exception there, he clearly has it out for us. Still, his Kali is corn. Never mind that murderous loot for now. Here's the real problem we face. We too have suffered many losses as a result of this battle. Koyanskaya thought she would show off by heading out to defend Chichen Itza alone, then found herself completely outmatched in a fight against Tezcatlipoca. Luckily, Sol rescued her and brought her to the ICU, where she currently licking her wounds. I think at this point I should remind you that I'm supplying all my own magical energy. If I had a master to help with that, things would have gone very differently. If she says so. Granted, there is no one in Chaldea foolish enough to provide such a dangerous servant with magical energy. I trust you all agree? Good. No, I have Koyanskaya. I will provide the magical energy, no problem. Moving on, the Deinonychus who went out to defend the border from the Aklama are missing. No! However, 7th did give me a message for Sol and Chirolite before he left. Don't worry about us, we'll turn things around in overtime. That is all. Not the Deinonychus brothers, no! As for you, Olga Marie, who reappeared during Sol's battle with Tezcatlipoca, she has regained her memories and left Chichen Itza. We've been worried about this happening, and unfortunately it seems the time has come. She may have been helpful so far, but I doubt we'll be able to comment on that going forward. Up until now, our enemies have been David and Tezcatlipoca. However, the foreign god remains the greatest threat to successfully carrying out our grand order. Is that clear? But she was still the same Olga Marie we knew. I know her memories have returned, but if we can just talk to her... Get it through your head. Regardless of how closely she resembles the Olga Marie you knew, it does not matter. Hell, she might even be Olga Marie Animosphere, but that doesn't change the fact that she is the foreign god. Did you fail to notice that her spirit origin is on the scale of a star? Monster doesn't even begin to cover it. You understand that in a single second the sun puts out more energy than the entirety of humanity has used in all of its history, right? We can't risk her blowing up on us. She's too dangerous. Damn it, can you two worry about yourselves for a change? No, that's kind of against our nature. That goes for you too, Katak. I want you to keep a close eye on Sol and Chirolite. Morty's right. At this point, we have to treat you, Olga Marie, as an enemy. Unfortunately, She's not the only dangerous entity we need to worry about. Kukulkan is the representative of the extraterrestrial that made this Lostbelt, the archetype of Mictlan. Remember when Tezcatlipoca said she'd eventually turn on us? I think he's right. So far, we haven't demonstrated any hostility towards Mictlan or its people, nor made any attempt to attack. But that won't remain true. We need to cut down the Tree of Emptiness. At the same time, the Cryptor is trying to destroy the Earth by waking up ORT. As far as Mictlan is concerned, that makes us both enemies. So, from Kukulkan's perspective, anything not originally from Mictlan is an enemy. That is almost certainly part of why she attacked the Storm Warder on the surface. She did ally with us for a time thanks to soul reaching and understanding with the dinos. But now that there is no need to keep the dinos safe, she will almost certainly try to eliminate us on behalf of Mictlan's collective will. Yeah, if I run on the side of Mictlan, I'd want to kill David and Tezcatlipoca first, then us. Still, I wonder, is Kukulkan really an agent of Mala? Some of what she's done lines up with her intentions, but it seems to me like she's also gone her own way at times. I see, then we better start thinking of Kukulkan as an enemy from here on. It's not all bad, though. If we play our cards right, we can pit our enemies against each other and swoop in to claim the spoils in the aftermath. At any rate, that's a long and short of our current situation. Now that we understand the situation, it's time to plan our next steps. Sol, Mash, and Kadak, I want you to get some rest over the next 2 hours. Go outside and get some fresh air, take a nap, whatever you feel like. We will meet back up here in 2 hours' time. Do not be late. Whatever? Okay, Mash, come on. De-stress time. Let's watch the stars. Since we can't see the actual sun. Has Mash ever seen the proper sun? Like, I guess she did in Avalon LaFay for a fair bit. But she's not seen the sun properly, has she? Poor Mash. I should have known it would still be dark out. It would have been everything in Chichen Itza about now. Evening in Chichen Itza about now. Guess you two aren't the only ones who wanted to go outside. You two gonna do anything in particular? Hoping to find some dinos we know. Oh, hey, are you all done with your talk? Wakchan, you're okay. True. But she's not seen the sun in a not snowy hellscape where it's cold, because screw the cold. I don't suppose you know where the Deinonychus brothers and Tepeu are, do you? I haven't seen the Deinonychus bros, but Tepeu said he would be back at his house for a while. The other dinos are all gathered at the Kokta Shrine. Maybe you'll find the Deinonychus bros there. Thanks, Wakchan. Idiot, don't you realize they're gonna be mourning? Hey, wait up, damn it. Outsiders like us shouldn't... Shit, there they go. Well, I guess I'll have to go and take my lumps with them. Hold up, bro. You're coming with me. There's something I want to ask you. True. Very true. Unless I'm in Texas, which has gotten a ton of snow recently, apparently. Where'd Olga go? In fact, what is it exactly she is to you guys, anyway? I have to pay you, but he wouldn't give me any details. Is it something I'm not supposed to know? Alright, I'll tell ya. Consider it thanks for protecting the border while we were being held captive in Mexico City. This will be a good chance to reevaluate things, Wakchan. See, the one you've fallen for is actually... Kadak, why are you trying to break Wakchan's heart? If he wants to be in love with somebody who wiped out all of humanity, then let him. In fact, though, I don't think she actually did wipe out all of humanity. Again, another theory that I developed recently is that another layer has just been laid on top of Earth. I don't see the Deinonychus brothers anywhere. All of Chichen Itza's remaining dinos are gathered here, and it looks like they're all discussing something. Oh, hello, Sol. Hello, Mash. Have you come to tell us more stories from proper human history? This is wonderful. Please, come to the center. I do hope you'll finally tell us about Latin America this time. Why aren't any of you mad at us? Why would we be mad? Well, I guess there was that business with Koob. We didn't want to put one of our own in prison either, but we ultimately decided to follow proper human history's example. May I ask what you're all going to do now? You know that your sun's going to explode soon, right? And if that wasn't enough, your friends and family have been killed and your city's been destroyed. We may not be responsible for the sun, but the rest is all because of the knowledge from David. No, from proper human history. You have every right to blame us for this tragedy, and yet... Hey, what do you think you're doing, making Mash cry, Chaitem? Knock it off. What, did you show her that crazy math formula you were talking about earlier or something? No, it was nothing like that. Gosh, now what are we gonna do? We didn't mean to make either of you sad, but I guess we did. Your brainwaves tell me you're both feeling guilty. I remember you were worried about this kind of thing before when you asked us if we hated proper human history. So you asking us that made us so glad. It proved you've always accepted Lostbelts for what they were, even as you fought against them. It also proved you never forgot them. Yeah, for sure, but it was also kind of painful to hear. I mean, you two are still holding on to those harrowing memories even after going through this cycle 6 times now, right? It's too bad you can't forget the old ones each time, but I guess that's also why proper human history's got so many stories. We have stories because we don't forget. Oh yes, that's the biggest difference between proper human history and us. We don't have any history or any stories. That's why we can accept extinction as a matter of course. It just never been something we thought of as painful. Talk about being happy-go-lucky, right? Heck, I can only say that now because we finally know how the Lostbelts work. Wait, does this mean? I know it may be very rude to ask you all this, but could it be that Tepeyu isn't uniquely understanding, but rather that all dinos are, well... You mean to be sure a similar brain structure and levels of intelligence? Yes, I suppose we do. There have never been any dinos who are exceptionally described as geniuses or brilliant. So no, Tepeyu's mind does not work any differently from ours. He just sees things differently thanks to his unusual eyesight. Once we heard your stories, every dinos understood that Mictlan is a Lostbelt, a place of cosmic fantasy. Even knowing that, we still love your stories, though. Admittedly, they do make us feel lonesome as well. Not me. I just had a great time hearing them. I still wish I could have gone swimming in Atlantis. All the more reason for us to keep going for another generation. That way, there will be a world of aquatic dinos. There's no way that you could become a plesiosaur kukumuo. You're way too impatient to wait for evolution. Anyway, it's about time now. It's about time for what? I just said that. Are you all heading to the jungle? That's right. Now that the solar sojourn and the king of dinosaurs are gone, we have no reason to stay in Chichen Itza. Good luck with proper human history. We wish you all the best. Please, don't worry about us. We were always destined to die up here. Full of life, and now it's empty. Yes. And not only were they not despondent about their fate, they were actually kind enough to worry about us. They don't hate anyone, and they don't resent their circumstances. They just share whatever happiness they have with as many as they can. It's wonderful, but for some reason it makes me feel really sad, too. Yeah, that is honestly kind of tragic. You! What do you want, priestess? Actually, that's a question. Do we even see this priestess, or is she just always there? Who is the priestess? Who is she? Hey, Koyans are covered. Good, you're all right on time. Now let's begin the briefing of our final mission in the South American Lostbelt. Hello, Professor. Sean, how are the storm borders repairs coming along? Excuse me. We've finished mending everything except the onboard facilities and the engine room. At the moment, we're getting ready to restart the Triton engines. Yes, sir, we're counting down the moments until we can begin repairing the armor plating's electromagnetic barrier that Kukulak destroyed. Begin reapplying our anti-spirit and anti-curse membrane coatings. We should be back to combat readiness in about 10 hours. Once that's done, we'll restart the engines, generate new Spiriton torpedoes, and charge the main cannons. We expect it'll be a total of 24 hours before the ship is ready for both flight and combat. I see. Excellent work. To be honest, I was secretly beside myself when the board was nearly split in two, but as I didn't see how we could possibly come back from damage like that. But you actually succeeded in restoring the whole thing. Thank goodness for Mictlan's abundant resources. I've got a report to make, too. The density of the toxic gas in the 8th stratum is falling rapidly. According to Trismegistus II, the 8th and 9th strata will be having breathable atmospheres in about 10 hours. Which means the time of the underworld pilgrimage is finally upon us. The only catch is, like Nemo said, we still can't move the border yet. If we try to fly without barriers, will it be easy prey for Kukulak, and if she decides to finish the job she started when we arrived? Unfortunately, David is almost certainly preparing his own underworld pilgrimage, even as we speak. By the time we finish rebooting the border, he could well have reached the bottom stratum and revived ORT. So once again, we have no choice but to send our field team ahead. Master Soul and his servant Mash Kyrolite. Chris Koyanskaya, and lo though I am to let you go, technical advisor. You have two options to choose from. Plan A, Operation David Assault. Locate and neutralize David Semvoid on his way to the bottommost stratum. You should aim to get him somewhere between the 6th and 8th strata. This should resolve the immediate threat without needing to go all the way down to the bottom stratum, and importantly that ORT remains dead. Plan B, Operation Tree of Emptiness Felling. Reach the bottom stratum before David, find the Tree of Emptiness, and cut it down. No matter how powerful ORT is, it is still a part of this Lostbelt, so getting rid of the latter should remove the former too. Morgan! I think we've proven that a Lostbelt does not need a Tree of Emptiness to survive, Gordy. According to Dris Majestius II's calculations, each plan has a 50-50 chance of succeeding. Now, just for the record, let me ask you this, Master Soul. Do you feel one of these plans has a better shot than the others? Don't be shy, give us your honest opinion. Stopping David! No, we should go with both A and B at the same time. The contrarian, everybody. Mr. Oh, I have so low self-esteem. Oh, I'm so pathetic. Is now being like, no, I have more experience than you do. I think we should do both at the same time. No reason for us to stick around with only one choice. We should split into teams to strike David and a team for the underworld pilgrimage. Even if the strike team fails to stop David, they should at least slow him down. That'll buy the pilgrimage team some time to reach the bottom stratum, cut down the Tree of Emptiness, and destroy this Lostbelt. That gives us the best chance of success. I'll of course be on the David assault team. I'll need the Shadow Border, Koyan, and your best driver you've got. Oh, of course you do, Kadak, because you can't go huffing it through the jungle. You probably could not have completed the American Singularity because you cannot walk across the whole of the US of A in a couple days' time. Because you are pathetic. My plan is to go after David in the 3rd Underworld. If the driver has a healthy number of top-tier magical circuits, they'll be so much the better. Wow, he's elitist too. I may have not been able to finish driving at the Paris-Dakar rally, but I still have good driving technique and off-road expertise. Are you looking for a driver that surpasses me there, who also possesses top-tier magical circuits? Where in the world are we going to find someone like that? Alright, we have nothing to worry about there. So you guys just focus on the Underworld Pilgrimage. I haven't cleared the 3rd Underworld, so that rules me out of that group anyway. Fine, I was already planning to use the Shadow Border in this mission anyway. Alright, the advanced team will take the Shadow Border down to the 6th stratum, the 3rd Underworld boundary. From there, the pilgrimage team will get out and head to the bottom stratum and cut down the Tree of Emptiness. The David Assault team will stay in the 3rd Underworld boundary, set up a dragnet, and carry out the plan from the Shadow Border. I don't love the thought of the pilgrimage team going on foot, though. We'll need help from the dinos who can act as their transport. I know you said the dinos left Chichen Itza, but there still may be some there. I'll have the Marines take a look around and see if they can find a porter. On a related note, we should talk about Tepeyu, too. He's been a tremendous help so far, but the conflict between the Cryptor and the Chaldea is bound to be a problem for proper human history alone. I don't cherish the idea of drawing him into our battle. What do you think, Soul? I'll go and talk to him. Get it? Then I'll leave it up to you. Tepeyu likes to act mature, but he's also intensely curious. I'm sure he would help us if we asked. In fact, I'm not sure he'd forgive us if we didn't. I agree. Shy though he might be, he does know how to hold a grudge. Go, pull that shut-in out of his comfort zone. I see. Good to hear you become such good friends with the dinos. I don't know how it happened, but by all means, go ahead and talk to him. In the meantime, we'll continue our preparations. This will likely be our last chance to take in Chichen Itza. We don't have much time, so enjoy it while you can. Don't tell me what to do. Wow. Mexico City. You know, all this planned, let's intercept David at the boundary to the 6th Underworld, which is, you know, probably a shorter distance for him to travel than us. He's probably already departed. Common sense is not that common, unfortunately. Son, ours, sing. Mictlan, Mictlan. Who's that? It's alright, go ahead. I can report to Tezcatlipoca alone. Are they just other Axolotl? Ah, the women and children who are living in the jungle have all come home to city. But they're not here to celebrate our victory. They've been praying for the husbands and sons who went off to battle to return safely. They love their families just like humans. No, their love is purer than humans. Only a handful of soldiers came back. The ones who lost their partners must think I'm a terrible king. You kind of are. That Axolotl's been training to join the Royal Guard for half a year. Looks like he resents me for telling him he was too young and leaving him behind. Please tell me we are going to see Iskali get his ass handed to him by somebody. Familial love, familial bonds. The affection which develops naturally from the moment one is born, where there is no need for words. I have nothing like that. I was already fully formed from the first time I opened my eyes. My body was made here in Mictlan. It's modeled on the people of proper human history. My human mind was shaped to be the king of the Aklama. That's who I am. I have no family. There are no others like me. All I had were the impulses I wore on my sleeve. My disappointment in those who refused to obey me, the despair I induced in those assigned to me, and my lashing out against all around me. My god said to remember those impulses. That would make me a god only if my soul was clear and unclouded. Great Tezcatlipoca, despite being a god of proper human history, he discovered the Aklama. In one night, he built Mexico City and created me out of the earth to serve as their king. For 1 year, I would act as Tezcatlipoca. If I could prove myself worthy, I would become his incarnation. It was a wonderful year, a year free of doubt. I knew with absolute certainty that our fight to eradicate humankind, to deny proper human history, was a righteous one. And now we've decimated Chichen Itza and invited the sun into Mexico City. Mictlan now belongs to them. Not that it matters to me. From now on, they will be the prime species of this world, because I'm not an Axolotl myself. I've completed my trials being Tezcatlipoca for 1 year. Now I can finally remove my mask and be rid of my childhood name. I've dreamed of this moment all my life, and the moment I'll finally receive the power to strike back against everything. He is so gonna be denied, and yet for some reason my heart is clouded. Like an obsidian mirror too opaque to reflect anything. Behold, the sun has moved from the Maya to the Aztec. Now we have the minimum viable model of proper human history in place. I mean, it depends how long the next section is, but have a good time at your mom's birthday, J6. Oh ho, the triumphant king returns. Welcome back, Iskali. Did you kill the other me? I did. I riddled him with bullets. His limbs went flying, his head was torn from his neck, and his flesh was shredded to gooey bits. I see. Good job. Only Tezcatlipoca can kill Tezcatlipoca. You and that other me might have both been immortal, but a fellow Tezcatlipoca's weapon will easily do plenty of damage. The conditions were equal. Trust me, the other me had no complaints about dying in battle. What is it? Is there something you don't get? Alright, I never did tell you that the King of Dinosaurs was also me, huh? That's only because I trust you. I knew you were the kind of guy who could step up when he had to. Gods are expected to be fair and impartial. You wanted destruction more than you wanted to win. If you decide you don't need proper human history, then you have to let go of the Lostbelt too. Understood? If you choose extinction, you can't leave one side standing. You need to get rid of everything to start all of it fresh. Yes, great Tezcatlipoca. I'm honored to receive your divine proclamation. Alright, let's head out. It's underworld pilgrimage time. Get ready to leave, Iskali. I'm about to make your wish come true. Underworld pilgrimage. Does that mean we'll be going to Mictlan's bottom stratum? That's right. Chico na Hualean, the ninth stratum, the moon lake where we'll find the real altar city instead of this slapdash replica. A place known as Aztlan, the land of beginnings, it's also where you were born. I wasn't born from the earth of Mexico City. That's right. That city's the only place that could have summoned you. Hey, I know. We'll also bring along a few of the surviving Aklema you trained yourself. No, that's alright. This was a hard-fought victory. Even the Aklema need time to relax and lose themselves in drink. Got that right. No matter how short-lived it is, you gotta savor joy while you can. Okay, time for the finishing touch. David's waiting in the jungle. Let's go pay our respects to ORT's coffin. Oh boy. Never thought I would see a war in a land as peaceful as Mictlan. It seems humankind cannot escape the consequences of accumulation, no matter what form it takes. They accumulate wealth, sin, forgiveness. Even our foreign god must find the situation deplorable. I already knew about the human wars from the video records I researched. Chichen Itza may be a ghost town now, but it was never a creation of Dino civilization anyway. Excuse me. They never accumulated anything, and they never will. Quite right, your eyes as sharp as ever, my lady. But that's not true for humankind of proper human history. Both the Cryptor and Chaldea will now try to reach the bottom stratum. The former will do so hoping to revive ORT, while the latter will do so to erase this Lostbelt and ORT with it. So what will you do, my lady? You need to ask. The whole reason I chose this Lostbelt as my temporary lodging was to acquire an even stronger spirit origin. ORT belongs to me. I'm not about to hand it over to anything as powerless, anything as incompetent as humankind. I've come to the conclusion that Earth's prime species is evil. I have no compunction about eliminating it. I'm going to go to the very bottom stratum. You stay here and monitor Chaldea. Once I've fused with ORT, they'll try to escape on their ship. I've chased them down twice before. I don't want to bother with a third. Do you understand me? Of course, my lady. Rest assured, everything is already in place. The moment the Stormborder tries to escape Mictlan will be their last. It's not looking good for our heroes. It is not looking good for our heroes at all. Final arrow of section 16. Definitely a shorter section. Definitely a shorter section. It's gonna be a dangerous journey. Will you show us the way? Yes, of course. I'm relieved you came to talk to me. Thank you, soul. You're welcome. Why are you thanking me? All the other dinos have left Chichen Itza, right? Whether the sun exploding is what destroys Mictlan or is a casualty of ORT's destruction of the whole world, the dinos will accept what happens without a fight. That response could be called rational or even noble. But knowing what you've fought so far, I thought you might find the response cold and heartless. So I was steeling myself for the likelihood that you would leave without a word. In the end, the dinos are Mictlan's prime species. We are at heart very different creatures from yourselves. We may have differences, but we can still resolve them peacefully. I still have some preparations to make, so please, go back to the border without me. I'll meet you at the castle gate. Even if I've never passed the 7th stratum, so I'm looking forward to the adventure that lies ahead. Oh, and one more thing. I have something of a favor to ask of you. Oh? A favor? What kind of favor? Why is there fires burning? Everyone really is gone now, aren't they? Yep, they sure are. At this point, the sun might never come back. Then again, even if it did, it's just going to explode anyway, so maybe it's actually for the best. Kukulaka. That being said, don't you think you should be a little bit more careful walking around alone at night? You're the master of Chaldea. As far as Mictlan is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, you're just a rare and unusual interloper. But the novelty of that has worn off, so wouldn't it be funny if I just pruned you here and now? Gotta show the sass. You're not very good at being a bad guy, are you? Well, I didn't really think you were going to be so unfazed. Man, and I spent all that time practicing what I was going to say before I flew down, too. Is what Tezcat Lapoka said about you true? Don't even mention... Why didn't you protect? Alright, I guess he did say something about me not protecting the dinos, huh? Yep, he was dead on. The sun helps the world grow, yes, but it also makes it burn. Think back. Did I do anything at all to protect the dinos, even when we were traveling together? That's right, I didn't. Even when Camazotz showed up or this war was taking place, I just kicked up back in the sky and enjoyed the show. Did you really enjoy it, though? I did. You really are an insolent one, you know. Say something like that again, and I will literally squash you. Anyway, the sun's going to explode soon, so who cares how many of them die now? The cycle of extinction has come to Mictlan, just like it did in proper human history. There is no point in getting angry or sad about it, or refusing to face reality. Even if the dinos in Oklahoma all die out, or eventually humans like you will still be born, right? Life will never die out completely, no matter how bad the collapse. Proper human history has proven that. So I was thinking, why don't you all just leave now that your ship's almost prepared? I mean, there is no point in you sticking around for Mictlan's collapse, is there? Not until we visit the bottom stratum. I see. Then I guess there's nothing more to be done. I'm the Arbiter of Mictlan. That means I'm obliged to watch over the dinos in Oklahama's final moments. To do that, I need to keep this Lostbelt around. Which means both the Cryptor trying to revive ORT and Caldeon's mission to cut down the Tree of Emptiness are my enemies. The next time we meet will be in Kalakumul. That is where you and I will go our separate ways. Kalakmul. That sounds more appropriate pronunciation. And that's the arrow. That was section 16? I think it was. Wow. So yeah, that was section 16. How long is this next section? Which is section 17. 6 arrows. I can't do it. I unfortunately cannot do it tonight. But tomorrow, we will continue with more of Lostbelt 7. We got 2 arrows done today, everybody! Woo! We got more arrows done today than we have in a long time! And who knows just how many we will get done tomorrow. Because, I mean, a 6 arrow node, theoretically, that should take us maybe an hour to do. Theoretically, at least. And then who knows after that? If it's another short one, we'll get that done too. But that is all future me's concerns. For now, I have been Soulrack Dragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There is plenty of content for all to enjoy. And if you're watching this on YouTube specifically, be sure to drop a subscription because that will help out tremendously and it will let you know when the next part comes out. But once again, thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.